Today I'd like to talk about guitar scale practicing. Guitar players practice scales vertically. It's very common. I know I did. I practiced scales vertically until I was blue in the face. For example, practicing it from ceiling to floor and then back to ceiling vertically. And when I started to solo, my patterns and my licks and my ideas were staying centralized in one pattern. They weren't moving up and down the neck. And to break out of that pattern, I started practicing my scales also horizontally. So once you have watched our video on whole steps and half steps and you understand the musical ABCs, finding these notes now horizontally up the neck will be pretty easy because you can use those two rules to help you find them. And again, just before we begin to explore how I want you to practice the scales horizontally, I want to mention that, if one fret up is basically a half step, so every time you go up, you're moving up one half step. So this is an E, the next note up to the next fret to the right would be an F, that's a half step up. And if you go the other way, it's a half step down. E to D sharp or E flat. So let's take our C major scale to start practicing, and let's just take one string. Eventually, I'm going to want you to practice them on all 6 strings. But the notes of the C major scale. I want you to practice all 12 major scales. You have to practice all 12 because not every song is in the same key. Thank you. So let's talk about the notes of the C major scale. The notes of the C major scale are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And if you look below this video, you'll see the notes of all the other 12 major scales, just for your reference. All right, so let's find our C. Well, we know that this, let's take the B string, for example. And we know this is B, and a half step up from B is C. So that's our C. Our very first note is C. So we have C, and a half step up there is C sharp, but that's not part of the C major scale. So C sharp, let's skip that one. So what comes after C sharp? D. Okay, so that's part of our C major scale. We go up another half step. We notice that's D sharp or E flat, and that's not part of the scale. But the next half step up is E. That is part of the scale, the C major scale. The next note up we're looking for is F, and sure enough, E to F, half step, is part of our C major scale. Let's go up another half step. F sharp, not a part of C major, but G is. So you've gotten 5 notes under your belt. You might want to go back and just review those so that you don't forget them. C, D, say the notes out loud. E, F, G. Okay, so we have C, D, E, F, G. What comes next? A. That's right, A. So we have G sharp, that's not A. Oh, half step up, A. So 10th fret is our A. Okay, another half step, A sharp, that's not part of C, but B is, and another half step up is C. So there's our C major scale. Now, I want you to do that on all 6 strings. All 6 strings. I want you to find the C major scale. For some of them, the C note's going to be a little bit high. So what you're going to do is, like, well, for example, say you find it on the E string, the high E or low E string. You're going to just drop it back down to the 1st fret. So, for example, you have C, D, E. Just drop it back down to the 1st fret. F, G, A, B, C. And pretty soon you'll be able to connect patterns vertically and horizontally. So I'm starting out vertically. Now I'm moving up horizontally. Have a good day.